In this video, we're going to be looking at Revelation chapter 13, and we're going to hone in on the lamb-like beast. But first, we need to set it up. So if you remember back to Daniel chapter 7 and 8, you'll remember that chapter 7 brings up the lion, the bear, the leopard, and the terrible 10-horned beast. At the beginning of Revelation chapter 13, you'll see an amalgamated beast made up of all the parts of those animals. But then it goes on to chapter 8 in Daniel, and it brings up the ram and the goat, which are sacrificial animals. Why is that? And then in Revelation chapter 13, you go from the amalgamated beast to the lamb-like beast, the lamb being an animal used for atonement. I wonder why that is. Well, stay tuned, because in this episode, we're going to discuss what these things mean. Going back to Daniel chapter 7, you have the lion, which represents Babylon. You have the bear, which represents Medo-Persia. The leopard, representing Greece. And the terrible 10-horned beast, representing Rome. Beasts in the Bible represent kingdoms. And you'll find that in Revelation chapter 13, this amalgamated beast represents the Catholic Church, who has synthesized all the former greatness of these kingdoms into one religious power. Now, Daniel chapter 8, literally the following chapter, brings up Medo-Persia and Greece, but they describe them no longer as the bear and the leopard, but as the he-goat and the ram, which is interesting because these are atonement animals, animals that are used in the sanctuary service. Now, this parallels Revelation chapter 13 because you have the amalgamated beast, then you have the lamb-like beast, which is an atonement animal. This lamb-like beast, where does it come from? Not the sea like the others do, but a new place. It comes from the land, mimicking the creation of man. Genesis chapter 2 tells us that man was made from the dust, like this lamb-like beast, who's now mimicking the creation story. But the lamb-like beast ends up speaking like a dragon, it says. So, who is the lamb-like beast? I'm proposing today that the lamb-like beast is American prophecy. You think the Bible mentions all these great kingdoms, the kingdoms that have been the superpowers throughout history, but forgets to mention America? I don't think so. I think it's honing in on America. Think about America. It is an atonement animal. It's always been an atonement animal. People come to America what? Seeking a new life. Old life dies back in the old country. A new life starts here. Slavery died here. Much blood was shed for slavery to end here. And we're the first country to do it. There's slavery all over the world, but in America it ends. We also start to speak like a dragon. We have missiles that we literally call hellfire missiles, as though we're God, and we can condemn the wicked with our hellfire. See how we're being set up to speak like a dragon? Once our atonement is complete, once we allow the imputation of guilt to be on man instead of Christ, and we start executing this false atonement that we place on ourselves. Just look at people now. Like, what are they seeking? What are Black Lives Matter movement? I see white people saying, forgive me. What are they doing? They're rolling on the guilt of lives past, of white people's past, and they're saying, all this guilt I'm gonna now lay on myself because I'm the same color. This is foolishness. I mean, everyone in the Bible, and I'm speaking to Christians, everyone in the Bible is of the same race. And we should be obsessed with atonement. We should not be okay with man atoning for himself or having another man atone for the sins of his whole family. Like, that is not what Scripture's saying. Scripture's saying Jesus atones for sin. Because as much as it is wrong to be racist, to be a bigot, that's not what's actually going on. We gotta open our eyes. Satan is trying to pull the rug out of atonement. We're so close to the end. Jesus is coming soon. And you think Satan's just sitting back and saying, okay, I'm not gonna do anything, and then us as Christians, our biggest problem is gonna be social reform? Like, no, Satan is being very active in destroying atonement. This will take away your salvation. This will put you in a position where you will feel that it's ultimately necessary to help social causes at the sacrifice of staying true to Scripture. Satan wants us to make that decision, but it is our decision. He cannot force our hand in that decision. And when those things come up in your life, you're gonna have to make a choice. Are you gonna choose Satan? Are you going to choose this world? Are you going to choose the appearance of righteousness? Social justice, being declared good in the eyes of men? Or are you going to listen to God and allow Him to be satisfied with what you bring to Him, which is your sacrifice in Jesus Christ, and the good works and fruit that follow after that? So this lamb-like beast in Revelation chapter 13 is an animal that atones. So after we're done with everything that's going on in the world right now, all these current events, we're heading towards the United States speaking like a dragon. And what happens when it speaks like a dragon? It gives power to the original beast. Catholicism is going to come back. We're going back to the Dark Ages. We're going back to medieval law, and we don't even know it. What is medieval law? Well, I'll give you a quick example here. They had something called ordeals. We know in our country, right, you are innocent till proven guilty. In medieval law, you're guilty, and you have to prove your innocence. Think about what's going on right now. You're guilty. Someone is evil based on how they look, whether it's a policeman, whether it's a white person, whatever narrative is imputed to you, you are evil, and atonement has to be made for you to be innocent. It's not innocent till proven guilty. It's you are guilty and something's going to have to be done. See, this is medieval law. This is the medieval mindset creeping in. And what religion thrives in this? Catholicism. It can absorb everything. Just like the amalgamated beast can absorbing all the greatness of the kingdoms. That's the power of the Catholic theology. It can absorb all these ideas. It can absorb the atmosphere of needing men to atone for themselves. It is literally taught that priests can dissolve your sin when you go to confession. Are you going to go to an earthly sanctuary, or are you going to know that Christ in the heavenly sanctuary can dissolve your sin, can blot it out with His own blood? So if you're a Bible-believing Christian, you got to start seeing this. Start making a decision now, knowing that the America is going to go in one direction, and you're going to have to decide to go in another direction. You're going to have to look at Christ and His atonement. You're going to have to say that there's no other atonement other than Jesus dying on the cross. So this lamb-like beast, America, the dream country, the grand experiment, gone astray, speaking like a dragon. Then what does it do? Well, it causes all that dwell on the earth to worship the first beast. The first beast, what did we say, was representing the Catholic Church, who has synthesized all the greatness of the former kingdoms. And it's going to be a one-world religion that's going to be brought in.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order.
Revelation 12 and 13, you read them together. What is the war about? The war is about worship. Are we going to worship Satan or Christ? These are the questions that you're going to have to ask yourself. Where do you lie? What do you seek? Do you seek safety in this world or security in heaven? So that's this lamb-like beast. It starts off as an atonement animal. Sin is always imputed to it. It started off as a Christian nation. That's the Americas. And then it ends up speaking like a dragon. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I ask that you subscribe. It really does help us. Give a thumbs up to this video also if you found it fortifying. And really, this video should propel you into deeper study. We have a podcast going on, and we're going to actually go more in depth into this topic. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.